guys are having a wonderful day, making some really good trades, and yup, let's just get into it. And right now we can see that Bitcoin is floating around $22,850, nearing some support. As we can see, we are now entering into that red money flow on Market Cipher B. And again, we're getting some pretty bearish signals here on Market Cipher A as well. We got a nice reversal triangle right here on the 4-hour time frame. I think we got one on the daily. Let me just float over here. Is my screen gonna change? There we go. No, we don't have one on the daily, but I think we may have one on the weekly. Yeah, we have one on the weekly, so that is not that great of a signal for a for Bitcoin, especially nearing that major resistance. As well, as you guys can probably tell, we've been kind of hammering this trend line right here, as I've illustrated many times before. Wow, my PC's really slow today at loading stuff. We can see we've been hammering some resistance now. Now we're trying to hold this trend line right here as support, and if that gives away, then you will most likely break down to around 21,600 as a minor target. Your first target is going to be right here. Your major target is probably going to come around 19,950 to 19,500. And after that, if that does not hold, then I expect 18,300 to be your strongest level of support here, coming right around these lows, these low pivots right here on Bitcoin, basically where we were chopping sideways. And this would be coinciding with a potential market pullback with the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, and the Russell 2000, who are all kind of just floating up here, and it's not looking that great either for the traditional markets as well. We could maybe take a look at it on Market Cipher. Let's just float over here very quickly, get on that weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we did get that green mark, that trend reversal triangle on Market Cipher on the weekly, and we got that red money flow, which is not that great. Same thing for the Nasdaq, I believe. Yeah, Nasdaq, we got a similar thing. That we got even more red money flow on the weekly time frame. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones got it, but a while back, and then those funds were really starting to pile into value stocks, and I still think they're doing that, just not like the crazier pace, a significantly less crazier pace than they were doing it beforehand. Let's take a look at that Russell 2000. Again, another trend reversal as well, but we got that green dot of confirmation of the trend. But we've seen these completely give out in right before big market drops as well. You've seen these confirm, and then the market will drop. I think it's better illustrated on the S&P. We could just get over here on the S&P. I could show you guys right here. Wow, they're not loading up. Nothing is loading. Or am I on the wrong chart? I probably got to get on this chart for the S&P. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so you can see that we got that weekly time frame trend reversal, and then we'll get that green confirmation, and then eventually we'll start to roll over, because really we're nearing a top of the market, and the retail is really driving this rally. But let's not get into too much detail right here on Market Cipher for the S&P. Let's keep going and do some more Bitcoin analysis. And again, I've illustrated the lower end targets, but if we do end up breaking up, because we do have some bullish signals here on the 12-hour time frame wave trend, you guys can see we got a green X right here, which is a potential buy signal. However, the RSI is coming down and the MACD is in the red. Let's take a look right here. You guys can see when we are in the red in the MACD, and the RSI was kind of underneath here on that 38.40 level. We got that green cross, and then we had that massive pump towards the upside with using the wave trend indicator. Now, could this mean that we could get another pump towards the upside? I think in the best case scenario that we would get a potential pump back up to 24,340, or around this trend line, which is basically 23,834, or at the top of this resistance, and then you're going to get your pullback. It could be one last fake out, right? You guys can tell as well, we've got this big bearish divergence going on, and it's been going on for quite a bit of time now. RSI on that daily is really just overbought at the moment, but again, I don't want to be perma bear or anything. I want to see both sides of the trade, And if we do keep going up towards the upside, then you got your, I think, in my opinion, your max resistance target is going to be coming right around 28,700. I think once you get to these levels right here, you are really going to run into some resistance, as we were chopping sideways through at these levels for a very long time. And on top of that, even if you get a pierce and you get a wick, you got psychological resistance at 30,000, potential amount of very big sell orders here. So let's just see how everything plays out. Actually, Bitcoin's taking another dip towards the downside here. We are going to retest this trend line as support. And then again, you guys already know how it works. The more you test the support, the more likely it is going to break eventually. And that doesn't, you know, some people say like the more test support, the stronger it is. It is strong support, but eventually it will give in, right? The more you test it. So just put some notes on that. Let's take a look at the indices today. Again, more sideways action, not too much downside. I guess you could say we're down 1.6% on the Nasdaq, but again, that's just the tech sector going crazy today, with Google actually being down more than 9% at one point, and we recovered a little bit. We were only down about 7.6%, but I think that had something to do with the news coming out with AI. Their AI integration had a problem or something like that. But overall, I still think these companies have not put in their long-term bottom yet. Most of these tech stocks still have a lot of downside, and especially Apple. I think Apple right now, after that earnings call, we pumped up towards the upside. I think it's going to get a significant pullback towards the downside as well. And Amazon actually had a very big down day the other day as well, but I don't think I covered it yesterday because I didn't make a video. But yeah, overall, you know, markets, in my opinion, are running into some pretty heavy resistance here. And like I said before on Market Cypher, you guys can tell we have that trend reversal triangle. Let's actually run it on wave trend because I haven't taken a look at it yet on that daily time frame. Let's take a look at that daily. Yeah, we do have a red X up here, and you can see we have gotten some pretty strong reversals with, you know, near the end of an uptrend. You guys can tell we've got a sell signal here, a sell signal here, a sell signal. Yeah, we went up a little bit more, but eventually you got your sell. You got your sell, and then you got another one here and another one here as well. And same thing for the bottoms, right? This indicator anticipates big buys, big movements before the trend actually happens. So that's the problem with most indicators. Is I'm trying to reverse the whatever I just drew. Yeah, that's the problem with most indicators. They don't, you know, let you know what's gonna happen after. Usually you get a massive green candle towards the upside, and it'll say buy, but by that time the move is done, and then the move is actually reverses back down, and you're actually stuck buying the top. But for the time being, this right now is telling us a very nice reversal sign. You don't obviously just use this indicator. You want to use it along with a few other ones, like the wave trend X, I believe, which is down here, and then I like to use the MACD with it along with the RSI. Kind of gives me a better idea of where the market could be starting to reverse. And right here, I would not have shorted this area right here, you know, for a day trade or anything, because you could see the MACD actually was pretty strong still, and the RSI was not that overbought. But now that we're getting to these levels here, I would be definitely more comfortable into entering some more short positions on the S&P 500. All right, that's enough for the indices and crypto. Let's take a look at the long-awaited natural gas. Let's get into our commodities. We can see that nat gas had a very big pullback today. An 8% move, I think it was 8% move towards the downside, and we actually came and bounced off of this support, the previous support right around $2.40, and we managed to hold it as support for the time being. But nat gas is, you know, could have a little bit more downside in my opinion. I think you might come down here and tag $2.27, and I'll show you guys why. Because $2.26, 27 cents, whatever you want, we still have major support, and we do have this previous pivot high here and this pivot low down here. We could get a wick, maybe a couple days we go down, and then we reverse back up before taking that move all the way back up to $3.50. Because you guys can take a look at Tesla real quick. I'll just show you what we kind of did on Tesla. Tesla, you know, we kind of bottomed out right around 108. We had a nice little pump back up. We actually took out the lows, made a new low, and then we even went a little bit lower before, you know, shake everyone up, make everyone think that we're gonna go to 91, and then you know what ended up happening is that we pumped up more than 95% from the lows. And if you guys would have taken this trade, it would have been amazing. But let's take a look at natural gas, and that could be happening for nat gas. So don't discount it. But for the time being, we still have this bullish divergence right here. Keeps on climbing. It's holding for the time being. And we took a look. If we take a look at that 1 hour on this yellow trend line right here, we still have a nice little bullish divergence on the yellow trend line on the 1 hour RSI as well. So things aren't looking that bad for natural gas. However, you know, we broke out of this descending channel. We came back and basically retested it as support, or you could call it falling wedges, which is what I have drawn here as well, which is just these white trend lines down here. And then basically you're retesting this downsloping trend line, this previous support, and on top of that, oh my god, you just have so many things of confluence coming in, indicating a potential bottom for natural gas. You got the weekly time frame flashing a bottom on the weekly time frame. You got the 4-day with a green dot as well a couple days ago. You got strong DBSI numbers, 3-day, 23 and a -1, 20 and a 1. Obviously, you got red money flow. I'm not saying the bottom is in. I'm saying you could potentially get your wave 4 back up and then the wave down. 2-day, you got that green dot way long ago, but the daily, I think you recently got another green dot a couple days ago, and we had some strong numbers here. Obviously, they're significantly weaker today with an 8 and a 6, but we could be chopping sideways here for a little bit. This could be a week or a couple of weeks of consolidation before we take our move back towards the upside for nat gas. And I know the fundamentals are bearish, but sometimes the fundamentals just don't matter. The price will do what it wants. The price action in the charts will do what it wants. And oh wow, look at that. Bitcoin's down to 22,486. The fundamentals were so bearish and everyone was just so scared about their earnings that the stock was just selling off, and then margin calls were coming and everyone was freaking out. 5 billion in Tesla stock margin called, and the stock was just selling off and selling off and selling off. And exactly what happened, we had that major bounce come in for Tesla. All right, let's take a look at oil here. Oil got a nice little update again today. I still expect oil to come back down to $65 eventually. You could say that we are actually forming a big bearish flag if you want. Something like this. Like so. Right? And then we could just be chopping sideways for the time being. But you're going to see that this level right here, $79.57, could be acting as significant resistance. Once again, I know we've pumped past it many times before, but it has acted as resistance. As you guys can see, before we blasted through the levels, it acted as resistance here, and then I guess you had a few wicks down here as well. Acted as support here, acted as support, failed, and then went back down. Now it's going to come back up and retest it once again. I don't know how many times we're going to retest this level, but yeah, you guys can take a look at this upsloping trend line here. That's why I think it's a support for the time being. But if we do come back down and we break this, then yeah, we're probably going to head significantly lower. All right, let's take a look at gold. Not too much action in gold. Again, gold is just forming, like, in my opinion, the most obvious bear flag of. It's a little bit early to tell, obviously, but it's starting. It's forming right here. You got your little bear flag that's forming, and obviously, let's take a from the top down to here. That's gonna be your measured move. Once you break your bear flag, let's just pull this down here. There you go. And if we do break this towards the downside, then you're gonna find that you have a price target right around $1,788. But it all depends when gold's gonna break out of this channel. If you keep going up higher and higher, and you go up to 1900 and then you break down, then you're gonna have a price target right around 1800, right? Which is right around my next support area for gold. I think that gold needs to retest this level here as support, and maybe just put a buy price here instead of a sell one, and we'll just throw this one up all the way up here at $2,000. But yeah, if once gold retests this and proves it as significant amount of support and can hold it, then yes, I think that we could be getting into a potential bull run for gold. But that would mean that the dollar would have to start falling, and right now the dollar is getting squeezed because we just broke back into this resistance, this previous trend line right here. We're retesting as support, and we're retesting that 50-day moving average as resistance. But if the dollar ends up blasting through this level, then this would be very bearish for gold and stocks as a whole. I think the market will start to go back down. As we all know, a strong dollar is bad for the market, and a weak dollar, a falling dollar, is good for the market, because as you guys can probably tell, the dollar's been falling and the market's been rallying back up towards the upside. But as the dollar is getting stronger here, we can see that this rally is starting halting, it's starting to pause, it's starting to rethink, is the Fed really going to raise the rates more? Because we can tell by looking at the Forex Factory, we have some CPI numbers coming on February 14th, Valentine's Day, huh? Day of romance. We're at 8:30 in the morning. We are going to have this CPI coming out, and it is expected to increase just a little bit, I think, by 0.5, and it's expected, the core is actually expected to increase by 0.4 here, so a 0.1 increase here, and this one's expected to increase by 0.6. So that would be very, very, very bad for the CPI. But what we really want to see is that year-over-year number, because we know that's what everyone takes a look at. And if that year-over-year number increases, then that is going to be very, very bearish for the markets, because that could mean more rate hikes are coming. It could be that 5% is not top of the rate hikes, and that they could take it up to 6% or 7%. Who knows when the top is going to be for the rate hikes, because the Fed will say they'll do anything to bring it down to 2% and to 2% inflation. We know that 2% inflation is a long way from here, and the market's front running the pivot is not going to work. Anyways, thanks for listening to my video, guys. You guys are awesome. I love every single one of you. We're at 14,000 subscribers. Got some big things planned coming soon. And if you guys want to join the Discord, get access to all my trades, the link's in the description. Love you guys. Peace.